thank you for this day, Lord. Thank you for the many blessings you give us. Thank you for the community that we live in, the nation we live in, and the blessings that we have. Lord, we just pray that today, as we conduct this meeting, we would do all things that would honor you. Lord, we just thank you for this school system, the workers in it, and the students we have. And Lord, we just thank you for the dedication of the professionals to raise these kids or teach these kids how to become proper young men and women in the community and workforce. And Lord, we just thank you for this opportunity and all these things we ask in Christ's name. Amen.
I'll lead the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda for the day? Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Do I have a motion to approve the June 11th board minutes? Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? In public comment period is open. Ms. Knight, you had something you wanted to say.
Yeah, is the transportation department? Okay, if you could send them in.
Okay.
I don't know if I have a seat on the program.
Y'all just look at it. I am students growing up for electric bus.
Okay, so I just wanted to invite our transportation department to join us today and brag on them. They have done an amazing job this year. They've made sure that our kids are safe. They've made sure that our buses have been in tip-top condition. They managed a really hard schedule of trying to find enough drivers, and when they can't find enough drivers, they jump on a bus themselves and drive it. And they do what they need to do. They roll up their sleeves and do what they need to make sure that our kids get to and from school safely so that they can learn and have a good day. Bus drivers are really, really important. Some of you are and have been bus drivers, and they set the tone for how the child's day is going to go. They see that person in the morning, they see that person in the afternoon, and you really have an opportunity to build relationships with children when you drive buses. That is a really important part of our school system. So we all know what a wonderful job they do, but the state also has criteria for the transportation department, and they were honored at the regional conference or the state conference. We went with the best score in the Western region this year, so that's good. Evan, would you like to tell a little bit about what that entails?
Yeah, I think stand up or.
I don't want to see your poster. Yeah, we'd like to see your award, and I did ask that if Kevin's gonna get a picture with y'all for the paper, so tell us, you got a low score, and that's a good thing for this, so tell us about that.
Perfect score is 0. And if they find a cut seat or any sort of safety hazard on the bus, a sharp edge inside the bus, anything, a sticker covering a decal even, or a decal that has the emergency instruction for window kids, like bullet stuff, they peel stickers off all the time. If there's a sticker missing, a sharp edge, a bolt loose in the floor, a seat, anything, they'll hit you. And most things they'll hit you for is 5 points apiece. If it's a major violation, like a seat cut, and they can feel metal in it, they will hit you 60 points from that bus. And that will park a bus. Our score this year was a 6.6. 6, 7.
Wow, that's
I
great.
think the biggest thing they hit us on was seats. And it showed up in April to do our inspection. And of course, between summertime and April, kids in Florida pay a lot of attention. So we were very blessed to have a good score and and they also go through the teams, they check all of our paperwork, our inventory, BSIP stuff. So a lot of what Lisa does, they go through and they double check everything she does too. So, I mean, it's a whole team effort to get a good school.
So that was every bus they inspected? How many buses did
They do a percentage, and out of our county, they do 10%, so they just grab 3 yellow buses and 1 activity bus.
That's
And
amazing.
you don't know which
Amazing.
ones, so,
No,
they just slammed on.
If this is being videoed, how about holding that, poster up so that Kevin can get a picture of it?
It didn't come on over to me.
Yeah.
See that? Yeah. Okay. I think that's
on
great.
this corner, get up here, go.
So
You want a picture with all 3 of them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're part of the team.
She's not in here, but like she's a big, has been a big help in the transition is Barbara. I said, well, Barbara.
You're right.
Well,
Of course.
well, she knows we appreciate it too. She's a big help and she's a good mentor. Yes, she is, but
But you know, Graham County does always, and not, I mean, it seems like our bus office always very.
we have, and I think that should make the community and families feel confident in the safety of the children. So, we just really cannot thank y'all enough for what you do. And, so, you want to tell me what,
That, which is non-committal at this time, but there's an EPA grant for around, and they approved us for 2 buses. And it's, the way it states now, it's fully covered for, it's $260,000. The bus itself, it will cover the entire cost of a bus, plus leave money aside for charging stations. So as it stands, when all that goes through, the prices haven't went up. We should be able to get 2 electric buses fully covered if everything doesn't change, which things will change, hopefully not enough where you can't get a bus covered. I'm not super excited about electric bus, but we'll see how that goes.
well, it's a good opportunity to explore it when
Yeah.
it's covered already. And, so this is just for us to kind of clear our name in the hat.
Yeah, they said that if we sign this and 6 months from now, we want to buy out, and we can back out in and no big deal. They're just trying to get a feeler throughout the state of who would be interested, because the money's there through EPA, but we'd have to get with Duke Power and get it with the charging stations, which Carolina College is supposed to back us on all that. They're supposed to take care of everything once we get it, everything's approved.
Well, if you'll just keep Mr. Moody, which I'm sure you will, informed of the progress so that if there's any changes, we can make up.
When does this need to be signed out?
They hadn't really given us a date, but we had some stuff we had to do on the email back and forth that was due tomorrow. But they really didn't say that that was super important right now, so it can, we're not gonna be hurried for it.
If y'all have any, the board have any questions with it, let's enter in, we just tentatively get more information and.
What kind of mileage range will the buses have?
Do about 136 miles testing, and for us, as far as the yellow bus, that would be fine, because nobody runs more than 100 miles a day. And, that'd be the Fontana bus, so we can charge it every night. And what we learned in Cherokee about their bus, it was about $17 to charge the bus, electricity wise. So, I mean, it seems good on paper.
What's the
Well, we
difference in
don't
that when it costs of fuel a day?
Fuel, That same bus takes about 11 gallons a day to go Pontoon and back. So, I mean, you're looking at 11 times $3.5, $4 a gallon, so you close to $50 a day in fuel. So,
In cold weather, any issues with the real cold weather?
they've not had anything that they've reported as far as electronics in the cold weather. Those buses do that, have what they call rigidity braking. So that way, when you're going downhill and you're off throttle, it will build the batteries back some. So, I mean, there's a good possibility for a yellow bus, activity bus. And I don't know how you do that unless you can get a couple of other counties and charge while you were there and just start building each other back and forth.
I went, with the transportation department to Cherokee for them to demo the buses, and they really are very cool, so I'm excited that this is gonna look at it.
Yeah.
You know, I know people that drive buses. I have to say it's one of the most safety responsibilities you would do in the school system. Because people get rattled, just with 3 or 4 of their own children. Imagine having 30 or 40 kids traveling with you that you're trying to control. So it's a big responsibility, and I appreciate everybody that does.
So, we really don't get a vote here, but is there a reason, would there be problem with Mr. Nelson signing this to affirm our legal things?
Anybody else got any questions for Adam or David or Lisa? All right, appreciate y'all. Really do.
And get a picture frame for it.
Okay, reports and discussion items. Ms. Moody? She not in here. Are you gonna do that this night?
I am.
Okay, vendors board approval for 2024-25 school year. This is something we do every year.
It's an annual approval, and the list that she has is the same list that we asked for every year. For foods and supplies, US Foods, beverages, Coca-Cola, milk, Mayfield, produce, Performance Foods, and the hood system. They had to periodically clean the hood system. Each state of fire.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve vendors, for 2024-25 school year? So, do I have a second? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, Mr. Green, end of fiscal year budget amendments.
Okay, the first packet of budget amendments that I've given you are normal budget amendments that we have month to month. The instances where allotments have been either increased or decreased. So at the end of the year, there are several here, and Department of Public Construction would like to clean up, at the end of the year, their reports there. These formulas and get changes to different districts, allotments for state and federal. So these will be normal budget amendments that I'm presenting now, and after this, I will present the closing budget. So I'll give you a second packet. But these are, like I said, normal budget amendments, and I'll go through these quickly. They're small, not very large. There's a couple of them that we'll need, a couple of descriptions. They're be a little more detailed. So we'll go ahead and get started. The first budget amendment is for the State Public School Fund. First section there is PRC 002 Central Office. We received an additional $1,357, and I budgeted that for retirement matching. Next section down is PRC 003 Non-Instructional Support. We received an additional $3,540, and I also budgeted that for retirement matching. Next section down is PRC 14, this is career technical education. We received an additional $65, and I budgeted that for supply and materials. Next section down is PRC 27, teacher assistants. We received an additional lot there of $4,056, and I budgeted that for retirement matching. That was a welcome addition because we're almost always not having the funds to fund all the teacher assistants, so that will have been there. But where we would have to use local funds to pay for some of our teacher assistants.
Made for matching retirement.
Yes. Mhm. Yeah. It could be, for a total of your, a lot for teacher assistants. A lot of that's gonna be their salary, their social security matching retirement, but I just budgeted that in one line item. So that your page is a lot shorter than what, what
And we
could
have
be.
to match no matter what, so, this is a good thing to do.
We do, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Next section down is PRC 31, this is low well funding. We received an additional $154, and I budgeted that for retirement matching. And the last section is PRC 32, children with disabilities. We received an additional $6,953. I budgeted that for supplies and materials. Next page. These are also budget amendments to the state public school funding. First section there is 54, limited English proficiency. We received an additional $107, and I budgeted that for retirement matching. Next section is PRC 56, transportation. We received an additional $963, and I budgeted that for gasoline and diesel. Next section down is PRC 61, instructional supplies. We received an additional $73, and I budgeted that for supplies and materials. Next section down is PRC 69, at-risk student services. We received an additional $4,139, and I budgeted that for substitutes, to cover some of the substitutes we paid out of that particular PRC. Next section down is PRC 34, academically gifted. We received an additional $586, and I budgeted that for supplies and materials. The last section on the page is PRC 131, textbooks. We received an additional $75, and we budgeted that for textbooks.
Okay.
We're lucky.
I mean, maybe the edition.
The next page is also budget amendments to the state public school fund. The first section there is PRC 009, longevity. You'll see that the budget total there is $206,657.28. That represents the longevity that we have paid out of the state public school fund for the year. We don't know how much that's going to be. We just pay that during the year, and we have to present a budget amendment at the end of the year to cover those expenditures. Next section down is PRC 11. This says National Boards of Educational Leave, but it's really parental leave. That is for parents that would birth a child or adopting a child. If those folks take leave, then we pay for the substitutes for those folks out of PRC 11. So the amount there is $17,735.21. Next page is budget amendment or budget amendments for local current expense fund. First section there is PRC 56, local transportation. This requires a little bit of detail. Within local current expense fund, we have a transportation program reporting room there at 706. That's for non-yellow bus related expenditures. The reason for this budget amendment is the state public school fund. We also have a PRC 56. That's for yellow bus related expenditures. So it gives us a lot based off several formulas. But it seems that we always, and I'm sure a lot of districts always, your yellow bus transportation expenditures are greater than your lots. So to show to the state that our actual expenditures for yellow bus related expenditures are greater than the allotment, we make these expenditures out of PRC 56 in local. They'll pick that up and they'll see that, and this is an amount for everyone, $68,005.95. That's the expenditures we had to make above and beyond the state law for transportation. Now, we will not get reimbursed for that. What the state does is they take those expenditures, they apply that additional expenditure to their formulas, they average that over a 3-year period. It's going to increase our lot for next year, but dollar for dollar, we just hope that eventually the allotment that we receive for transportation for your buses out of state public sewer fund will be enough to cover our actual expenditures. Any questions about that budget? Okay. Next section down is 834, fines and forfeitures. We had expenditures greater than our original budget of $8,100, so we increased revenue on that. That was budgeted for safety and security supplies. Next section down is timber receipts, PRC 835. These revenues generated from something called the Secure Rural Schools Act. Those funds flow to the county. We call them timber receipts, but once those funds arrive at the county, if those funds are equal to $100,000, the county gets to keep 20%. So the amount here, this is an addition to our original budget of $40,000. So this brings up our total budget to $136,173. That's what we actually received.
And we get 20% of that back.
No, we get 80%.
Oh.
The county gets to keep 20%.
Oh, count.
If it's less than $100,000, we keep 100%.
Mr. Green, I was thinking, but if you remember, is this kind of consistent with every year, or is this higher or lower? Where we at?
I think we got 128,000 last year, so it's real consistent. There's been a couple of years where that wasn't renewed.
Right.
Dropped down to $40,000 to $50,000.
Well, we never know.
Yeah. Actually, the county didn't receive those funds until this week. They wrote a check to me. I think I picked it up yesterday. So that distribution could have like the fiscal year, but we're glad it did. Okay. Next page, these are budget. This is one budget amendment for the federal fund. This is PRC 115. This is called Targeted Support Improvement. We received this additional allotment at the end of May. It's $21,101.62. And you can see that the majority of that is for workshops. Next page. These are budget amendments also to the federal fund, and these are some of the smaller ones. Department of Public Construction are kind of cleaning up and finalizing the end of their fiscal year, so they're smaller than the equipment. PRC 50, Item 1, we received additional $1,205, and I budgeted that for supply of materials. Next section down is PRC 60. We received an additional $12,090, and I budgeted that for supply of materials. Next section down is PRC 103. Title 2, we've received an additional $345. I also budgeted that for supplies and materials. Next section down is PRC 206. We have a principal that has been receiving it's called a retention bonus, but I think it's a supplement. And the amount that was over the allotment that we got was $611.50. I had to put that budget amendment there to reconcile that particular PRC. Next section down is PRC 110, 21st Century After School. This is not a change in revenue. It's a budget amendment that we needed to add $1,350 to cafeteria worker expenditures that we made year to year. We didn't want a deficit with that particular budget cut. So we took and reduced supply of materials by $1,350. Last section down is PRC 50, Title 1. This is not an increase or decrease in the allotment. We needed an additional $800 in the office support, so we didn't have a deficit in that budget code. And we reduced the budget for PRC 50, Title 1 Also, by $18, you took that out of supply material. Next page is budget amendments to Fund 8. First section there is PRC 308, Impact 8. If you'll look in the credit column, you're going to see three significant numbers there. That's some additional revenue that we received since our May meeting, which is very well. That total is $171,093. So the budget amendment there increases the budget expenditures in areas that we need within that budget, such as school secretaries, technology director, custodial salaries, custodial supplies. Again, that budget amendment, the total revenue is $171,093. And then the next section now is PRC 413, which is NC pre-K. We received $6,000 more than our original budget was because of attendance. So we took that $6,000 and budgeted that on the office support for NC pre-K. Any questions about those budget amendments? Do have a second set. Close the budget amendments for the year. I'd like to give you an example. This example I'm giving you is a spreadsheet. What it's got there is it's got our current budget code structure. When I'm presenting budget amendments during the regular year, what I present are changes to your column that's yellow. It's the fund. Okay. Within that fund, we also have budget amendments to your column that's orange. That's the program reporting codes. Okay. The column in green, that's your purpose code. The budget amendments that you have now that I gave just a few seconds ago, these budget amendments will ensure that we're not over budget based on that 4-digit purpose code. We don't look at that until the end of the year. So here are the budget amendments to close the year. Okay. Now, these budget amendments, they don't change the budget expenditure. They don't change the actual receivables. They don't change the actual expenditure. The only thing we're changing are budgeted expenditures. That's it. We just have to realign those budget expenditures so that we're not over budget based on that purpose code in your green column. That's requirements of North Carolina General Statute that we have to read. So the first page on the State Public School Fund, first section there is PRC 002. We needed to realign some budget expenditures there. Total is $3,060. And we added to some environment lines and we took away from health insurance line. There's no increase or decrease in that particular budget. We're just increasing some budget expenditures and reducing some budget expenditures. Now, I'm not going to go over these in detail because I'll be saying the same thing about them. But what I do want to show you, based on these budget amendments, we will not be over budget based on purpose code. These final budget amendments, when you realign these budgeted expenditures, I want you to look on your page. You have an individual fund, just like your fund is Fund 1. Mr. Allison, your fund is Fund 2, etc. If you'll look on the page there, on the left top, it says account. It says total for purpose code 5100. This report is sorted by that 4-digit purpose code.
All right, so what that is.
Okay? There's 4-digit purpose code right there.
There it is.
152.
Got it, got it.
Okay. Now, if all of you will look at the far left column where it says unencumbered balance, scan down through there and see if you see any negatives.
Nope.
No negatives. That report, I've already keyed these budget amendments in, and that report ensures that we have met that North Carolina general statute. This may be the last time I say this, that our actual expenditures cannot exceed our budget expenditures based on that 4-digit purpose code. That's all the budget amendments. The next item on the agenda, we need to adopt an interim budget for the upcoming year. As you know, we don't receive our state allotments until July, August, September, sometimes October, November. So what we have to do is we have to adopt an interim budget. And basically, this interim budget states that we will continue in fiscal year 25 the same level of expenditures that we had in fiscal year 24.
But you have no idea what raises or fees.
No, well, we know that there are going to be some 3% raises out there. And, those will come down, especially for instructional support, principals and teachers. Those salary schedules will come down to us. We'll enter that in the payroll. Folks like myself, the state has, in their biennial budget, agreed to give us a 3% raise. Now, that remains to be seen. We have to wait until the state confirm that, even though that's part of their biennial budget.
So my understanding is, of course, the House has made, when they presented their idea of what the budget should look like, the Senate said, nope, we don't agree with that. Last I heard was, Senate was saying, we made us walk out the door and not even deal with this, just like it was, year of the budget anyway, so, I guess that remains to be seen what happens tomorrow.
So they're talking 3% across the board, not
No, not across the board.
No, just,
depending on the year's start.
You know, it'll be dependent on whether you're a certified or a classified employee.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Principals and teachers.
3%, in the biennial budget, the 3% was for classified employees. Which would be like myself, we're talking about teacher assistants, custodians, maintenance workers, etc. Again, that's not.
and what'll happen is we'll go forward, like he said, like we have this, with the budget we got this year, and then when they make their decision, we'll go back and it can be retroactive if it's more than what one budget is.
Yeah, we do that. You know, that budget last year wasn't, we didn't receive our allotments till October, so we continued to pay from 2023. And once that budget is adopted, whatever raises are approved, then we have to give people, we have to get them up to that salary.
And that goes back to catch up to the switching routes.
It is.
Which makes it real.
I'm thinking internally of the way I look at it on the books, it's not a lump sum, but for the individual when they receive their check, it is.
Because that is, a lump sum, you're talking tax.
Yeah, good. Good effect.
Yeah. But look, it's much.
Is that it, Mr. Green?
Any questions about the budget amendments, whether it's normal budget amendments or year-end budget amendments, and any questions about the interim budget for next year? Okay.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the end of fiscal year budget amendments as presented by Mr. Green? Do I have a second? All in favor? Any opposed?
Who did the first one? Thank you.
Do I have a motion to approve the interim budget for fiscal year 2025? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed?
Is that it?
That's it. Thank you, Mr. Green. Okay, personnel, Ms. Knight.
Yes, in closed session, I'll bring you a list of personnel that if approved should set us in a good place to not have any vacancies. Let's go first. So, and that has been, we've not been able to say that in a few years, so we're very fortunate to have a full slate of employees. I think we're probably one of the few systems maybe in the state that's been able to do that, but that's a lot for, I would like to thank the board for being proactive and allowing some fairly quick transitions to happen so that when there are people out there looking for jobs, we were able to go ahead and capture them before some of our system did. So I appreciate y'all support on that for the national process.
Do I have a motion to go into closed session?
Pursuant to the provision of North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11, parentheses A, parentheses 3, and 143-318.11, parentheses C, I move the Graham County Board of Education go into closed session to receive advice from the attorney for Graham County Board of Education, which advice comes within the review of the attorney-client privilege. The advice will be general legal advice about legal issues and legal matters. Pursuant to the provision of North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11, parentheses C, I move that the Graham County Board of Education go into closed session for the purpose of considering personnel matters as defined in and allowed by the North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11, parentheses A, parentheses 6, and North Carolina General Statute 115C-3021.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, we are now in closed session. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay,
I'd like to recommend for high school science teacher, Samantha Hooper.
do I have a motion to approve Samantha Hooper for high school science teacher?
So.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed?
Everybody.
I'd like to recommend for the Tippy Grant, TPPI, that's the Teen Pregnancy Prevention Initiative Grant, coordinator position, Christy Briggs.
Do I have a motion to approve Christy Bridge for the TPPI grant coordinator? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed?
And I'd like to recommend for the middle school academic interventionist, Amy Green.
Do I have a motion to approve Amy Green for the middle school academic interventionist?
So.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay,
I'd like to recommend for middle school volleyball coach, Holly Jackson.
do I have a motion to approve Holly Jackson for the middle school volleyball coach? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay,
I'd like to recommend for the middle school wrestling coach, Travis Hooper.
do I have a motion to approve Travis Hooper for the middle school wrestling coach?
So.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay,
I'd like to recommend as a volunteer for football, Sean Lakey.
Do I have a motion to approve Sean Lakey as a volunteer for the football squad? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Anything else, Ms. Knight?
I'm looking for your next board meeting date.
Okay,
August 6th will be the next board meeting, and it will be a regularly scheduled meeting, no July meeting unless there's a reason comes up in between.
do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Any opposed?
So it will be at 10 o'clock?
Yes.
Yes.